Let's turn now to our monitoring of the Ebola virus disease in Africa. A group of 13 UK aid charities has had to launch an appeal for the virus ravaging the three main countries in West Africa: Liberia, Sierra Leone and Guinea. This is the first time the Disasters Emergency Committee has sought funds over a disease outbreak, which it says is a sign of how serious the situation has become. Appeals will be made by all the main UK broadcasters tomorrow. In its 50-year history, the DEC has launched appeals for humanitarian disasters caused by floods, famines, earthquakes, typhoons and conflicts, but not previously for a disease in the for a disease outbreak. In the meantime, the World Health Organization says that there has been a decline in the number of cases of Ebola virus disease in Liberia. The WHO said it's confident that the response to the virus is now gaining what it calls upper hand. The number of cases globally was 13,703, and the death toll, to be published later today, would probably pass 5,000. The WHO says that figure, that's the 13,703, is a significant leap on the previous WHO situation that was reported as of Saturday, which showed that cases were rising above 10,000 for the first time to 10,141. In other parts of Africa, Guinea has received a boost to its fight against the Ebola virus disease. South Africa's first black billionaire, Patrice Motsepe, has donated $1 million to the Ebola-ravaged country. The mining magnate said he hoped it would assist the clinical management, social mobilization, and other key steps in controlling the deadly disease. His donation was announced as the U.S. praised the international aid efforts. America's UN envoy, Samantha Power, on a visit to the region, praised the efforts of Ebola-hit nations and foreign donors and urged them to continue to help. As we said earlier, nearly 5,000 people have died since the outbreak of the disease, which has mainly affected those three main countries, Guinea, Liberia, and Sierra Leone. But death's been going on in Libya, where fresh fighting erupted in the Benghazi city, where at least 10 people died after rockets struck several residential districts. The army fought with the Islamist militias when this happened. 180 people have been killed since pro-government forces launched an offensive on Islamists in Libya's second largest city 2 weeks ago. As part of chaos gripping the major oil producer for 3 years after ousting Muammar Gaddafi. The evolving army, backed by forces of former Army General Khalifa Haftar and armed youths, had made initial gains by expelling Islamists from the airport area and claiming the seizure of one of their strongholds in the port city. Medics, however, say that heavy fighting erupted again today in several parts of the city, and rockets and artillery shells hit residential districts. And finally on the world today, our light story tickles, well, my taste buds. The hallowed catwalks of Paris were scattered with crumbs yesterday after a fashion show that featured only garments made from chocolate were held. The show marked the beginning of the 20th annual Paris Salon du Chocolat, an exhibition that draws people and businesses from around the world to unveil new products and display their chocolate-based wares.
Some 60 garments were displayed by both female and male models in a wide variety of styles. While some pieces were simple and elegant, the majority of the clothes on display were bold statement pieces that featured impressively engineered sculptures made from chocolate. Some featured large chocolate wings, ornate headdresses, and even live birds contained in an intricate chocolate cage. Inspiration for the individual pieces were also varied, with Asian and South American ceremonial clothes alluded to in several of the clothes on display. The salon will take place at Paris Porte de Versailles exhibition space, a 20,000 square meter room that is set to host more than 500 exhibitors alongside over 200 chefs and pastry chefs from around the world. With the first event held in Paris in 1994, the Salon du Chocolat has since become a regular event across the world. So far, there have been 159 shows in 29 cities, welcoming over 6.4 million visitors in total. The exhibition is open until November the 2nd.
Now I'm torn. I like fashion and I also like chocolate. So if I was doing one of those pieces, I'd probably take chunks off the dress and probably help myself to a snack. But that's the world today. Thank you for watching. I am Amarachi Ubani. Sports News is up next with Barrington Media.